Elsewhere, Paramount shares are up 7% after our David Faber reported that the company and Skydance have agreed to terms of a merger. David joins us now with those details. And remind us here, the whole story. David, it's great to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, well, we'll try, of course. It has been, as you said earlier, quite a drama. It does have one more final act, and that involves Sherry Redstone, and I'll get to that because it's not unimportant. But we'll give you the keys here in terms of at least the deal that was reached between the special committee of the board of directors representing the B holders, the non-vote or the smaller vote holders of the company, the common, and Skydance and its partner Redbird. And there it is. Now, the $2 billion will go to National Amusements. That's kind of separate from it because that gets them the control stake controlled by National Amusements and Sherry Redstone. Then they tender for a little less than 50% of what is the B shares. There might be something for the A's in here as well, Kelly, but at 15, and you get a choice, essentially, at the close of the transaction. If you're a Paramount shareholder, you want to roll in because you really believe in the plan, then you don't have to tender. But that's an opportunity. They also put $1.5 billion in cash in the balance sheet. That helps with debt reduction, helps on the plan to try and get this company back to investment grade. And ultimately, post-close, where you've got Skydance merged in at a high $4 billion valuation, you have Skydance, along with Larry Ellison. David Ellison runs Skydance. Larry Ellison, his dad, of course, the multi-billionaire, and Redbird and any other partners owning about 2/3 of the common equity, not to mention, of course, complete control as well, or large control of the A shares, which have so many of the votes. That's the deal as presented to Sherry Redstone. By the way, it's not a deal that is going to be up for a vote by a majority of the minority of shareholders. A special committee has done their work. They have now passed it to the control shareholder. The expectation had been, through my reporting in the past, particularly given that I'd heard Ms. Redstone was said to be favorable towards the Redbird, Skydance Redbird transaction, would be that she would approve it. But from what I'm hearing lately, well, it's going to go right down to the wire. I mean, there's no shortage of drama, I guess. There is a slight litigation risk, it would seem, in terms of shareholders inevitably saying, oh, you didn't get the best deal, you did something, and therefore we want to be compensated. And there's not indemnification as far as I'm aware, and therefore will there be some litigation risk that could in some way be a real concern for Ms. Redstone? That's number one. And then number two is just what you typically see at the very end of a deal, which is, well, should I really do this? Now, the special committee, for its part, believes, of course, that the company should, because if they thought a go-it-alone strategy was a good one, they would have chosen it. But they didn't. They didn't feel that was a viable strategy for the company at this point, which, by the way, does have 3 different people who are running it right now and obviously faces a host of challenges we've discussed so often, Kelly. So it is in Sherry Redstone's hands. The read I'm getting now is that we'll have to wait and see. It's going to take her a little time with her lawyers at Ropes and Gray to go through everything and figure out where she wants to come down on this. And that's why, even though they have a deal done, we're not seeing an announcement today or even tomorrow when they have their annual meeting. It could be a few more days. I think the expectation is she will say yes, but I guess after a couple of conversations, I can't say that that's definitive. So
bring it, David, if you would, back to the consumer here. So we know CBS, we know CBS Sports, we know their streaming platform. This whole company is now going to be owned basically by a sort of a production firm and a private equity firm. What are their plans for it?
Yeah,
what's this all going to look like in 3 or 5 years' time? Maybe no different in some ways. I don't know.
Well, it's a great point. And listen, in previous conversations I've had around what you could do here, I think the focus is on cost cutting. Now, a lot of that may have taken place under Bob Bakish. That remains debatable, the former CEO who left a few weeks back. But what I have heard, at least, the idea is that you could cut as much as $3 billion. Many might say, what? That number's way too high in SG&A. But that at least is what they would hope to target in terms of significant cuts that could be made. Things like the Nielsen contract or Paramount movies going to Paramount Plus within 18 months. And a lot of different areas they believe they can save money.
Sure.
Future of CBS, unclear over time. Is there an opportunity there? Any number of the other cable networks that you well know are under pressure. It's unclear what the overall value would be. The library itself, though, is seen as incredibly valuable, both from a TV, even more so than a movie perspective.
Right.
But that's the plan. They believe that they can create enormous amounts of value because They're going to spend $8 billion to get there between the two they paid for national amusements and the $6 billion that I outlined already.
It's still crazy to me that their big idea is just massive cost cutting in an era where the only way you're going to survive is by massive investment or selling the library to Netflix or somebody. So if the whole big idea for this entire thing is massive cost cutting, I don't know how promising that sounds.
Well, you know, it is not without risk. And I would also add coming to a price agreement for a transaction that will close, let's call it 9 months. I don't know how long it'll be. FCC's got to sign off, is also something of a risk given the continued pressures the business is under. That said, I don't want to make it seem, Kelly, as though that's the only part of their plan. It hasn't been completely shared with me. Right. Obviously, there are plans around Paramount Plus and the streaming business that they feel will add a lot of value. Skydance, what that is going to be able to do for the company in this new world is also seen as potentially adding a great deal of value. So I do expect we're going to get a lot more detail once and if they get to that final time where they actually can sign a deal.
May they soon. David, thank you for all your reporting, for bringing that to us today. We always appreciate it. David Faber.